Listen only mode.
Swagataha, swagatam, namaskaraha. Today is December 24th, Chaturvimshati Tamaha Dinankaha. Last class of this year, Asya Samvatsarasya Charamaha Vargaha. So, in case I forget, Nutana Varshasya Samvatsarasya Shubhakangshaha. But good wishes for the new year. And so let's start. This is December 24th. Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate. Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Abhiyata Nishachara Chamu. Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittale Sada Bhotame Bhorama Mamuddhara. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sahasranama Tutulyam Rama Nama Varandane. Shri Ramanama Varadana On Nama Iti. December 24th, Dityo Bhagaha Ramayanam Sundarakandam Eka Vimshaha Sargaha. The 21st Sargaha. Thanks to Ravi for the document and of course for recording also. So we are trying to put, as we discussed with Ravi, as few notes as possible. Still we have put quite a few. We'll go through them quickly only at the end of class, but all the form we've done in daily examples, we don't repeat them in this class because we are going to focus on the katha and not on Vyakaranam. But we should put some notes, so we can understand where the translation is coming from to make sense of the translation. Okay, let us start today. So this is the Sankshipta Varnanam of the Ekavimsha Sargaha. Madhye Trina Prakshepena Dusamsargam Nivarya Samna Hitopadesha Purakam Ravanam Prabodhayanti Sita Ramagunan Prastutya Tena Sakhya Virodhabhyam Jayamana Shubha Shubha Phalam Pradarshya Tasmai Atma Samarpanena Sakhyam Sampadayethyupadishati. Punah ekavaranam, punah ekavaram. Madhye Truna Prakshepena Dusamsargam Nivarya Samna Hitopadesha Purakam Ravanam Prabodhayanti Sita Ramagunan Prastutya Tena Sakhya Virodhabhyam Jayamana Shubhashva Phalam Pradarshya Tasmai Atma Samarpanena Sakhyam Sampadayetyupadishati. Okay, what is Padacheda for us, Ravi? Padacheda for us?
Yes, Madhye Trunaprakshepena
Samastam Padam. Okay.
Dusamsargam Nivarya Samna Hitopadesha Purvakam Ravanam Prabodhayanti Sita Ramagunan Prastutya Tena Sakhya Virodhabhyam Jayamana Shubha Shubha Phalam Pradarshya Tasmai Atma Samarpanena Sankham Sampadaya Iti Upadishati. Okay, before we go to Balaramji, can you tell us which are the two Tingantapade, Dve Tingantapade Asmin Vakya? Which are the two of them? The last one, Upadishati.
And you have it here, but before we go down there, it is a Sampadaya.
Oh, Sampadaya. Okay.
Sampadaya. So Sampadaya, always first try to attack the Tingantam Padam. That is the verb. See, all these other things which are Saptami and Panchami and Tritiya and the clauses like the Tvanta Vyam, they can all come later. The first order of business after Padachedaha and Padanvayaha. In this case, because we're looking at a prose sentence, we don't have to worry Padanvayaha. Anvaya has already been done by the speaker, because when speaker speaks in prose, not in verse. Then Padanvaya Nama should be done by speaker himself or herself. So after doing Padachedaha, after doing this Padanvaya in case it is in verse, then we have to first look at the Tingantam Padam and just clear the deck, just clear the deck. Just let's start with a simple sentence. What is the action in the sentence? Let's say Eka Ting Vakyam. To make a sentence you require Tingantam Padam. So right now we have two of them. We have Sampadaya and Upadishati. Now Ravi, we have a iti ending. Where does the quotation begin? You think, Ravi, where does the quotation begin? Because we have an iti at the end of Sampadaya. What do you think?
I think it starts from Tasmai Atma Samarpanena.
No, because think of what Sita said. What did Sita say? That's inside the iti.
Yes, so Sakhyam Sampadaya.
One more word is there. Atma Samarpanena Sakhyam Sampadaya. Because Sita said to him, by surrendering to Rama, you build friendship, you seek friendship, or you make friendship happen with him. So what Sita said is in the iti. And Tasmai is not what, this is what the narrator is saying. But Atma Samarpan, in fact, you see there is no Sandhi operation here, by the way. It should have been Tasma Atma Samarpanena. Because Tasmai should become Tasma by Echo Yava Yavaha Tasmai, then Lopashakalyasya, after which we cannot do a Kasami Dirgha. It should have been Tasma Atma Samarpanena. But Sandhi has not been done because in a prose, when it is not within a compound which is within by Upasarga or Dhatu, then the speaker has a choice. So, so he has not done Sandhi here, possibly also to highlight the fact that this is in quotation. So this is also one thing you can do in the beginning is to, if you can, take the itis out because they are a separate sentence. So even though we have two Dve Tingantam Pade, Tinganta Pade, so it is, one is inside a quotation, which is the Sampadaya. So if you remove that, Atma Samarpanena Sakhyam Sampadaya, then it is the Avyayam, which is the Dyotakam, which highlights the thing. Then we have only one, Upadishati. Now this should be a straightforward form for us by now, Upadishati. Ravi has put us for down here, he has put us down here. Dhatu is very straightforward form. Because it is Disha Atisarjane, nothing special, Lat Pratyaya, Tip, then we get the Sha Pratyaya, Vaituda, Dibhyashaha. And because this is Sarvadhatikam Apit, there is no Gunadesha. I hope by this time you're appreciating some of these properties now. We are looking at the end, by looking at the T at the end, you can quickly guess Pratyaya. Tip is most likely there. And by understanding the fact that the Ikara did not take Gunadesha, you can understand it's not a Shap Pratyaya. Anyataha Uganta Lagupasacheti Gunadesha Syat. So it is the fact that you can, without looking at the dhatu part, without looking at any book, you should be able to tell this pratyaya is not shap. Because shap will do puganda laghupadasya cha. So something is stopping that, and of course we know what is stopping that. The sutram which is sarvadhatukam apit. So that is why the sha becomes important. It becomes nit. It cannot do gunadesha because kiniticha. So we get dishati. Upadishati is to upadeshaha. She sermons, instructs, teaches Ravana. So now we have a simple sentence is Sita. Okay, now we got the verb, Upadishati. Put that down, Upadishati. So somebody is instructing somebody. Then clearly the Karta, in this case Kartri is the Pratama Ekvachan, is Sita. Sita Upadishati. Now start building around it, your house, which is the Vakyam. You try to build the house now, slowly. You got the Shanku Sthapanam. That is Tinganta Padam is the Shanku. That is what fixes the sentence. This is now a sentence. We have a Tingantam Padam. Of course, sometimes you have to supply it. That's possible. But ultimately, the Shanku has to be there. That stake, which they build to begin a building, So then we say Sita Upadishati. Sita Upadishati. And then we have Tasmai Ravanaya Upadishati. So she instructs Ravana. And what does she instruct? Atma Samarpanena Sakhyam Sampadaya is inside the quotation. So inside the quotation, a separate sentence. Don't forget that, please. Inside the quotation, a separate sentence. So sampadaya is inside the quotation. So if we can finish that one also, look at the aya inside. Of course, the sandhi rules, I hope you know them by now, is sampadaya plus iti plus upadishati. Sampadaya plus iti is adgunaha, and iti plus upadishati is ikoyanachi. I think you can practice from the website if you want the daily examples. But sampadayeti becomes sampadayeti by adgunaha, then ikonachi sampadayeti upadishati. So sampadaya, look at the aya inside that, which we have pointed many times, that aya. Gita example, buddhim mohayas, which I also mentioned many times, is buddhim mohayasiva me, that aya. What is this aya? That aya basically is a niche taking gunadesha, taking echoyavayavaha, and combining with the shap to create this, cause the ratam sthapaya mechita, sthapaya, sampadaya. These are example, karaya. So gamaya, asatoma sadgamaya, gamaya, or again aya. So what is this aya? Like mohayasi is the niche pratyaya taking gunadesha, echoyava yavaha, and combining with the following shap to create aya. I mentioned aya because it is a way to quickly highlight that the niche pratyaya might be here, followed by the shap pratyaya, and sure enough it is. Some pad is dhatu. Pad is notorious. It almost always prayana upasarga purvaha, upasargena saha vartate, like sampatti, apatti, vipatti, upapatti, pratipatti, and so on and so forth. So right now we have sampad. Sampadyate means sampad means becomes possible, it takes place. Sampadaya means make it possible, make it happen, make it happen, make it happen. Sampadaya means sampadayati means make something happen. So, and this is Madhya Purusha Ekvachanam lot. And then what we have is quickly here is this form we don't need to derive because we've done it in daily examples many times. But since Ravi has taken so much effort to put in document, we will quickly show that is this dhatu pada gatau. Even though it means gatau, it takes various meanings depending on the upasarga that is involved. Okay, like for example, prapatti, shadimantam prapannam, prapad, to surrender. Sharanagatam prapannam. Arjuna says in chapter 2, Shadimam Tvam prapannam. One more thing also I told you many times, when you have to test a dhatu with upasarga, try the various forms, not only the one that you have right now, not only later or later, try the nishtantam padam, try the tumundantam, try the ghai pratyaha, because the meaning will, even though different pratyas being added, the meaning of the dhatu, how it changes because of the upasarga will be common. If you know the form prapannam from Gita, of course there may be many various meanings of it. At least you know one meaning of prapad. Prapad you know. So anyway, so sampad is to make happen. So padagato, add the pratyaya niche, do atopadhayaha becomes padi, dhatu sanya, then add the pratyaya lot, sip, seriya pitcha. I'm going really fast right now because it's been done in daily exam many times. Pratyaya shab comes in here, and this is where the shab does the gunadesha. The sarvadhatukarthaka yoho becomes pade, echo yavayavaha, and becomes padaya, and of course ato he padaya and sampadaya. So okay, and so we got the basic structure of the sentence that Sita instructs unto him that atma samarpanena sakhyam sampadaya is seek friendship through self-surrender. Means Ramena Saha Sakhyam is how they are. And there are some clauses here now. Pradarshya is one of them, means having displayed. Then we have Nivarya, having warded off. And then we have Prastutya. So these are all extra like rooms in the house. We got the ground, we got the first structure of the house we got. Now we are adding small bells and whistles now. Is that having warded off something, having praised something, and having shown something, then she instructed Ravana that you seek friendship with Rama through self-surrender or by self-surrender, by surrendering yourself. Okay, let's bring Balramji and let's start if you can now. You there, sir, Balramji?
Namaste.
Okay, so we got a basic idea now. So we got the verb but always attack the verb. Then try to get the subject, try to get the object, if any. In this case, we found Upadishati, we found Sita, we found Tasmai Chaturthi here, Ravanaya. We went inside the quotation, we got the sentence, we got Sampadaya, and then Sakhyam Sampadaya was the object of Sampadaya. And then we can take Tritiyantam, Panchamyantam, Saptamyantam, particularly Shashtyantam. You don't need it. You don't need Shashtyantam in the sentence at all. It's only one noun or adjective tagging on to Sambandha, different adjective or noun. As I mentioned to you in the class, I think we have this Bhagavata Puranam. We've got a tika called the Bhagavata Churnika. I mentioned a few times. They crush down the Bhagavatam. Churnika, they make it Churnam. Means they remove all these extra things and they give you a very small sentence. Very small, simple sentence they give. That's called Churnika. So it's a nice book. It's called Churnika. Because Bhagavatam, there's so many adjectives and clauses and long compounds. We don't need any of them to start with. Just look at the simple sentence. And once you have that, you can add some pieces that you like, and you may not get all the other pieces. So what? At least you got the basic idea, you got of the sentence. Okay. But now let's go into further details. As I said to you, we have 3 clauses here. Nivarya. All of these, 1, 2, 3. The usage is the same. The pratyaktva, 3, 4, 21. Samana kritakriya purvakale. Some common doer is doing 2 actions. We already know who she is, because we already showed that the Upadishati goes with Sita. So she has to be the one which is going with these 3 also. Why? Because 3, 4, 21 Panini says that. Samana kritakriya purvakale. Has to be the same doer. Otherwise you cannot use a pratyaktva. Of course, Tva takes left later on because 7137. So now we know Sita, having done ABC, then she does D. And D we already figured out. Okay, let's start. Okay, Balramji. So placing, what do you think? We'll try.
Nirvaya.
Placing, no. This is prakshepaha. Prakshepaha. Prakshep. Dhatu kship. Kship is to throw. Prakship is to kind of, is to put in between. Prakshepaha. So, this is the part of a compound. Trunasya.
It's also in Chaturthi, right? So,
no, prakshepana is tritiya, by placing.
Right? Tritiya, right.
Tritiya, like Ramayana. So by, it is, using it as an instrument. So by means of that. So by means of placing or putting or throwing, kship is to throw, prakship, throw in between. By putting in between, placing in between a blade of grass. So placing is by placement, really. Lichting by placement. So prakshepena. Okay, blade of grass is straightforward, right? No, grass. Grass is trunam. Truna is grass. Truna prakshepena. So truna prakshepena is trunasya prakshepaha, means placing, throwing of the grass, placing of the grass between. That's easy, right?
Madhya.
Madhya, in between. I think this is understood. Herself and Ravana, this is understood. That is the Madhya. This translation, I'm sorry, this translation is from it's not exactly. Okay, I'll change it for us. So, having avoided or avoiding, what is that?
Nivarya.
Dhatu viru. Nivarya. So, like, similar to this example in Gita, tasmad pariharyarthe. So, parihru also is to avoid, to put away. But slightly different usage there. But nivarya is this dhatu. Viru is to cover, also means to choose. So vrinoti. So avrnoti is to cover. But to cause to be covered means to kind of to put aside, to avoid, to ward off, to cause to be covered, to ward off. So ni viru, but viru is taken. Nich pratyaha will become vari, nivarya, because the pratyaya is twa becomes lyap, and nich takes lopa with 6, 4, 51, niraniti. So nivarya. So having avoided, then direct contact with an evil man. A man of evil
intention. Man should be this samsargam.
This samsargam. Samsargaha, samsrij is to rub, to contact with, to contact. So this samsarga. Samsargaha is, contamination also, contamination, contact. This samsarga is bad contact. So it means direct contact with a man of evil intentions is samsarga has to have. So having warded off evil contact, literally with so warding off evil contact by placement of a blade of grass in between, okay, and expostulating with him. I think what this is the, or basically enlightening him, waking him up. Prabodhayanti. Prabodhayanti. So we have a lot of nijanta pada, dhatavaha over here. Let's from the beginning. We have nivarya, because dhatu vru is to cover, having cause to cover means, in this case nivru means to having warded off. Then we have prabodhayanti, means having made somebody understand, making him understand. So prabodha also is to wake up, waking him up, shaking him up, making him understand. Then we also have pradarshya, having making him see, having made to see, means showing basically, having shown, having displayed, or displaying or displaying, in this case having shown. And then we have sampadaya. So we have many of these. Sampadaya we have to make something happen. Pradarshya is having made to see, means having shown, having displayed. And then we have prabodhayanti we have, which means to make somebody understand, to wake up somebody. And nivarya, to make something get covered means to ward off. So this, you see how important Nijanta Prakriya is to understand all these forms. And okay, so this is expostulating with him. I think it's prabodhayanti, is waking him up. So now this form, by the way, is a, okay, we'll do Vyakaranam later. Let's go on. This is a present participle, Shatru Pratyaya. So this is a Shatru Pratyaya. It is, and we got the Pratyaya Neep in the feminine. We also got Numagamaha. But this is not a, this is not a Tingantam Padam. Pratyaya will be G, will be Prabodhayanti. So don't confuse these two, please. Prabodhayanti, Rasvantam will be Pratham Purusha, Bhavachanam, Tingantam Padam, Pratyaya G. This is Prabodhayanti. This is a Shatru Pratyaya. This is Stilinga Prathama Ekvacham. So keep these two in your mind, please. Prabodhayanti, not Prabodhayanti. That would be, they make somebody, understand. Okay. By, you know what? I think we need to take Samna Prabodhayanti. I think Samna, Saman. Saman means like to reconciliation. Is these four expedients, right? Is Dana, Samadana, and then we have, so just four. If you look at, and then finally is Danda. You look at Apte for a second. So Saman is also Samaveda. However, Saman also means that to reconcile with somebody, to conciliate with somebody, to make up with somebody, not to conflict, but to basically to make up a fight by understanding, mutual understanding. Or Saman is appeasing, calming, comforting, so negotiation. So Samadanda Prashamsanti Nityam Rashtra. There are four of them are there. Let's see. Okay, anyway, so Sama is reconciliation, by reconciliation. So Samna, Titya Ekvachanam. So trying to make him understand through negotiation. Through negotiation. I think that's what is meant over here. And expostulating with him is what is meant over there. Now, by showing him the right path, what do you think that is?
Hitam must be right, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, Hita is beneficial.
Yeah.
So I think Hitopadesha Purvakam.
But I don't see path there.
Yeah, path is not there. I'm sorry. This is by along with, which is good advice, basically.
Advice, yeah.
Good advice, beneficial advice. So along with good advice. So Hitopadesha is, of course, Hitaschasa Upadeshascha. So it is beneficial advice, useful advice. And Purvakam means preceded by that, accompanied by that. Okay, Sita is Sita. Now, so praising or having praised this should be straightforward.
Prastutya.
Prastutya, dhatu stu, stutav is to praise, stauti, etc. It becomes Prastutya. Only Tukka Agama is coming here, but the same construct is the Tvanta Pratyaha Avyayam,
Twangtam Avyam, I should say, and then that plays up Adeshan Lyap by 7137. So having praise or praising, I think this
I
also
think it should be qualities of Sri Rama, character
Sri
of Sri Rama.
Rama's qualities. So Ramasya Gunan Prastutya, and then impressing on Ravana, impressing on him.
You told me this.
I think this is Pradarshya.
Pradarshya, yeah.
Showing, making him see really, demonstrating to him. Demonstrating. Pradarshanam is demonstrating. Pradarshyanam is demonstrating to him. Demonstrating to him. The consequence is
Shubha phalam.
Probably phalam.
Oh,
I think I think they haven't taken the good and bad consequences.
Yeah, good and bad consequences.
Yeah, good and bad consequences. Shubha phalam. And
but where is bad there? Shubha phalam.
Shubha ashubha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shubha. And then I think comes in Gita. I think it comes somewhere in Gita. Shubha. Yeah, Shubha prasad. Shubha. Let me try it. Shubhasham. Yes, I knew it. Something clicked in my Gita meter. Something clicked over there. Yes. Sarvatra anavisneha prapya shubhashubham. So one who is anavisneha, one who's not attached, one who's not, doesn't feel any disturbance, getting something which is good or bad. So this is the jnani lakshanam, right? One who is anavisneha, which he does affected by anything good or bad. Shubhasham, tattat prapya shubhasham. Having got something good or something bad, the jnani is not affected by it. So shubhasham, yes. So then shubha phalam is good and bad result, consequences. Then jayamana, being produced, which is arising. So arising, good and bad result. Pradarsha, so having shown to him the good and bad consequences arising. So of befriending and antagonizing. What is that?
Sakhyo virodhabhyam.
Sakhya virodhabhyam. Sakhya is sakhir bhavaha. Sakhyam, friendship and opposition. So sakhya virodhabhyam. So shubha phalam. So this goes with you see the yatha sankhya, sakhya comes first, so shubha comes first, and then virodha comes second, ashubha comes second. So demonstrating, showing to him the good and bad consequences arising out of respectively befriending and opposing Rama. So from these two, sakhya virodha bhyam is, by these two you can say, so we can take Tritiya Dvivachanam here. And then Tena is what? I think Tena is,
Sri Rama.
I think Sri Rama. Because here we have Rama Gunan came right here, then Tena Ramena. Sakhya virodhabhyam. Yes.
What is Jayamana?
Means being born.
Okay.
Being born. Jayamana is present participle of Dhatu Jan. So Jayamana is arising, so it is being born, in the action of being, the continuous. So it is the present participle. Like you say Vartamana, which is in existence, existing. So being born. So being born is Jayamana. Being produced Jayamana. It is a pratyaya, like Shanash pratyaya with the mukha agamaha, like Labhamana, Vartamana, like that. So Jayamana. Remember this mana, it is Shanach with the mukha agama. Jayamana. Dhatu is Jani pradurbhave. We'll go to Vyakaranam in a second, but means being produced, arising. Advises is, I think Upadishati. Ravana is what?
Maybe Ravanam.
Tasmai Upadishati. So it could have been also Ravanam Upadishati. So this is we have a choice over here. The speaker has chosen to use advising unto him rather than saying
but
advising.
I thought it might be surrender to Rama. So I thought Tasmai might refer to Rama.
No, Tasmai is Atma Samarpanena Sakhyam. No, I think Tasmai would not go with that. Or Tasmai Samarpanam, is it?
Yeah.
See, but my problem is that this part is in the quotation. Atma samarpanena sakyam sampadaya. So if Sita is talking, right, she will not say tasmai then. You can say Rame samarpanam. No, I guess you can say Rama samarpanam, but I think the tasmai is the narrator speaking, because he put tena back here. That is Rame, and then tasmai, I think Ravanaya upadishati. If you look at the translation also, advises Rama to make friends, like he says here, with she. I think this is understood through self-surrender. Didn't say self-surrender to him. Because see, if tasmai is inside the quotation, how will it fit inside the quotation? The quotation, the quotation is a separate sentence. Don't forget that. That's one important here. So inside the quotation, the tasmai will not make any sense, because there's no reference to tasmai then. Unto him is who? No, in this entire sentence, I understand we have Rama coming back here, but inside the quotation, we cannot pull that. We cannot take anything outside the sentence, generally speaking, into the quotation. It's a very important point here, is that you cannot take, generally speaking, okay, we cannot take something outside the sentence and just put inside the quotation. That is not allowed. So yes, tasmai will connect nicely. Could have connected with Rama, also could have, maybe possibly. Of course, in this case, Ravanaya. But inside, there's no reference to Rama or Ravana inside here. So I think we have to keep it outside. So tasmai Ravanaya. Okay, let me just continue. To make friends. To make is what? Sampadaya. Make it happen. Friendship is
Sakyam.
And with Rama is understood. And then through is the tritiya. Yeah, correct. Ena tritiya. Means because karanam. This tritiya is karanarthe. By means of that. Self-surrender is atma samarpanam. Okay, so give me a 5-minute break for Vyakaranam. So we got most of these forms now. This is straightforward. Trunasya prakshepanam is straightforward. Truna prakshepanam is by throwing in a blade of grass. Dussamsarga also straightforward. Dushta samsarga is a pradi samasaha. Dussamsarga because it's pradi. Dus is functioning at dushta, so dussamsarga like supurusha, etc. And then we get the vring varane pratya nich becomes vari by achoniti varan raparaha. Then add the pratyak tva, which you mentioned many times already. Saman kritika purva kale tva is lyapadeshaha, which is by samasanyang purve tvo lyap. When it goes in samasaha, the tva becomes lyap. Niraniti. Anidada vardhatake parene lopasyat pratya. This pratyak tva sanya ardhatukam sheshaha sthani vadbhavaha lyap also is ardhataka pratyaha. And because pratyaya you cannot take an idagama. Remember, always remember one thing: idagama is if the pratyaya is valadi, val adi. If it's not val adi, there is no idagama. So then nivarya, because this is the pratyaya which is sanya ardhatukam, no idagama. So we get nich ne lopaha nivarya. And then, by the way, Yulia is in the class. It must be late at night over there. Okay, anyway, good. Welcome to the class, Yulia. I know you must be quite sleepy by now, but we'll try to keep the Vyakaranam short for you. So hitaschasa upadesha, hitopadesha, just adjective, noun, karmadhara compound, beneficial advice. And then we make a bahuvrihi, hitopadesha purvo yasya tat, which is preceded by, accompanied by hitopadesha. This is in this case an adverb of prabodhayanti. So she was enlightening him in such a manner that it included beneficial advice. Prabodhayanti. Because this vartikam is kriya visheshananam klibata chishyate, and an adverb will be in the adjectives can be used in a neuter singular to form adverbs. Now buddha avagamane, here again we have the pratyaya nich, to make somebody understand, becomes bodhi pugantalagupatasya. Bodhi gets dhatu sanya va sanajanta dhatavaha. Add the pratyaya lat takes shatra adeshaha, latashatra shana chava pratama samadhi karane. So this becomes shatra because this is a prosipadi form, prosipadam. Pratyaya shap comes in here. Usually anubandha lopaha, then we do the echoyava, guna adeshaha, sarvadhatukartakayo gunaha, puganta lagupata, sorry, let me go slow. So 7384, sarvadhatukartakayo gunaha, because Ravi has taken so much trouble to put the notes, very nice notes, echoyava yavaha. Again we get ato gune prabodhayat, and then in striyam we get the pratyaya gni by ugitascha, 416, ugitascha. Otherwise we would, so that so we would, we would not get neep like that, but pratyaya shatra is ugit. So by 416 ugitascha, we cannot do all detail in the class right now. So if you want to do some homework, look at these numbers and you can look them up. Anubandha lopaha, nashakutit halantyam tasya lopaha. Then what happens is that this Puraparyoha eka adeshaha coming here by ato gune is antadivachya. That eka adeshaha can be considered to as the beginning member of the following or the ending member of the preceding. So we can look at it as bodhayat. So we can so 86185 says antadivachya. When you do Puraparyoha eka adeshaha, it can be considered as an ending member of the prior or the beginning member of the latter. And any operation which can be done based on these two can be done. So here we have prabodhayat. So we have this akara which is the Puraparyoha ekadeshaha, which is by ato gune. So we can consider that to be an ending member of the prior. So we can make it bodhayat. Why are we doing that? Because to get the numagamaha, we need to have a avarnaha prior to the shatra pratyaha, because the sutram here is shapshanor nityam. Shapshanor nityam. So by antadivachya, what we are doing here is that we are making this avarnaha prior to shatra pratyaha. So 7481, 7480 and then 81 antadi, sorry, 71, excuse me, 7181 shapshanor nityam. If you want to do some homework, you can look at sutram shapshanor nityam, and to apply at, we need to have at chinadyornum. So to get that, we have to have an avarnaha prior to the, so if you look at, I know I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. You have to mention some of these points though. 1480 says that avarnantadangat uttasya shatuhu. Avarnantadangat paraha yah shatuhu. So this Puraparyoha ekadeshaha, we treat it for the time being as a ending member of the Angam Bodhaya. Then we have this Takara of Shatra, and then take so it takes a Numagamaha, and then we get the form Bodhayanti. So look at Sutram 781. Of course, we get the Midachantya Paraha 1147. Ramasya Gunaha, Rama Gunaha, then Tan Rama Gunan Ditya Bhuvachanam. The same thing here, Stu Dhatu, Stutau. We have the Pratyaktva, Samanakritika Purvakale, make a compound by Kugati Pradayaha, make a Gati Samasaha, then Samasanyang Purvektvo, Lyapa. Only thing here is that we get a Tuk Agama, Raswasya Pitikriti Tuk. Raswasya Pitikriti Tuk. We have the Ukara, Raswaha, which is followed by a Pitikriti, because the Pratyaya Lyap came in, is a Pit Pratyaha. It's a Krut Pratyaha. It came in place of Twa, because Krud a thing, but 3193 Krud a thing. Anything which comes in that adhikar is a Pratyaya Sanya of Krut, because Twa Pratyaya came by 3421, got Krut Sanya, and then by Sthanivad Adeshwanal Vidhav, the Lyap was Krut Pratyaha. So it's a Pit Krut Pratyaha. So this Ukara, so Rasvaha takes the Tukkagamaha Adyanto Takitau. Anubandha lopa prastutya sakyur bhavas karmava sakyam. Special sutram by Panini sakyur yaha. Whenever Panini puts a special sutram, always pay attention to that. I think we've done this previously in the class. So sakyur yaha, adhikara of tasya bhavas tatalau. So it means that it is the adhikara of thatness. So the state of a friend, or also could mean the work or the job of a friend, activities of a friend. So in this case it is friendship. Sakyuryaha. So Pratyaya comes in here, and then Angam gets the Bhasanya 1418 Yachibham and Yasyiti cha Ivarantasya Varantasangasya Bhasanya Kastilapavoti Tadita Ikare cha Pare, because Yachibham, this Angam gets this Yakara Pratyaya Yakaradi gets the Bhasanya for the Angam.
Yes, cha, we get sakhyam. And then I'm going fast, but we have to be a limited time. So just look at these numbers. If you have any question, email us and we'll give you more clarification. And then of course this is in the neuter, so we get ato amipurvaha sakhyam. Then sakhyam cha virodhascha sakhya virodhau dvandva samasaha. Then tabhyam sakhya virodhabhyam. So by friendship and opposition. Then na shubham ashubham nai tatrush samasa nai samasaha. Na lopo nayaha, the nakara goes to become ashubham. Then shubham cha shubha shubhe means good and bad. Then shubha phalam cha tayoho samaraha shubha shubha phalam. One thing here is that we get the dvandva garbha tatpurush samasaha. When we have dvandva samasa inside a tatpurusha or bahuvrihi, then what happens is that the ending padam, it's like a mathematical bracket, A plus B times C kind of. So when dvandva is the A plus B, and the C is outside, it connects with each one of them, the A and the B. The dvandvante shuyamanam padam pratyekam abhisambadhyate iti nyayaha. Dvandvante, we take a dvandva compound, A plus B, multiply by, so to speak, by C, it becomes AC, BC. So that is the shubha phalam, ashubha phalam cha. So shubha, shubha phalam. So that phalam connects to both shubha and ashubha. Then jayamanam is being produced. So jayamanam chitatmika karmadhara, finally shubha, shubha phalam, jayamana, shubha, shubha phalam. So good and bad result which is being produced. In drishir prekshane at the pratyaya, nich again causative to make him see, to demonstrate, to show, having demonstrated, to becomes darshi by puganta lagupatsucha puran raparaha, and same thing at the pratyaya tva becomes lyap by 7137 samasanyang purvek to lyap. These operations come again and again, the operations come again and again, the same thing over and over again. So this is sankshyipta varnam, this is summary. This summary will have these gerunds, having done this, having done this, having done this, then that. And then of course same thing, niraniti. This pratyaya is not valadi, cannot take idagamaha, this has sanya ardhatukam. So anidada vardhake parene lopasyat, anidada vardhake parene lopasyat. Then atma samarpanam, atmanaha samarpanam, surrender of the self. By the way, in samarpanam also we have a niche in here actually, as a matter of fact. Dhatu is ru. Ru becomes arpi. So even in samarpanam we have, comes in Gita, Katkrusha Madarpanam. Chapter 9 comes Madarpanam, comes in Gita, Madarpanam. So here Samarpanam also has a niche in there. But for 736, Arti Rivli, the Dhatu Ru takes the Pukagam becomes Arpi. So here also we have a niche pratyaya inside Samarpanam. But Atrapi niche Samarpitaha. It is inside there. I'm sorry. Excuse me for 1 second, excuse me. Yes, I'm fine. Yes, that was fine. Namaskar. I'm in the class, I'll call you back, okay? Okay, Namaskar. Happy New Year. Thank you, sir. Same to you. I'm sorry, excuse me. So then we have Samarpanam also has a niche in there, and Puk Agama. So Arpi, Samarpanam is a neuter noun, Samarpanam. So by Samarpanam. And then Padagato we already saw Sampadaya, means make it happen. It's also a causative form. Madhyapurusha Ekochanam, Lot Lakaraha. And then Upadishati also we saw. Okay, let's take one shloka from this adhyaya. Nahi Gandhamupagraya Rama Lakshmanayostvaya Shakyam Sandarshane Sthatum Shuna Shardulayo Riva. Nahi Gandhamupagraya Rama Lakshmanayostvaya Shakyam Sandarshane Sthatum Shuna Shardulayo Riva. Padachita for us, Ravi?
Yes, Ji.
Okay.
Na hi See, that can be taken as in these avyas sometimes they combine. It's hard to say which is pruthak athva samudayasya avyaya sanya, like tathahi, nahi, like so these sometimes they can be separate or they can be taken as avyam together. So nahi athva nahi. Okay.
Gandham.
Upagraya, same thing, the pratyaya lyap. Okay, go ahead.
Ramalakshmanoho.
Ramalakshmana yoho.
Oh, sorry, Ramalakshmana
yoho.
Tvaya.
Shakyam.
Sandarshane. Sthatum. Shuna. Shardulayoho. Iva.
Few things notice over here. First of all, we have an Iva, which means there is a upama going on in here. Which is the part of the upama, Ravi, over here? Which part is considered with the Iva? What would you take?
Shuna and Shardulayoho.
Shuna and Shardulayoho. Which is the common part between the upama and upameya? Some things are common.
So Shuna with Tvaya and Ramalakshmanayoho with Shardulayoho.
No, I think that is clear. But there is, see, what happens is that when certain words are applying, this is Dehali Deepa Nyayaha. Some words in between that are applying to both the upameya, the thing which is being compared, and the thing which is a comparison. Yes. Which ones will you take? Which go on both sides? Which you can go on both sides? Which have to go on both? Which ones are they?
So Shakyam, Sandarshane, Sthatum.
Very good. Those are the three. Because these go with this part, also with this part. Also a very important thing. In upama upameya, they will not repeat the common elements. And many times they will put in between the upama and upameya. For the Dehali Deepajna, when you put a lamp, on between, on the threshold, it lights both inside and outside. The same thing here. This Shakyam Sandarshane Sthatum. It connects back here, and then Ubhayatra Sambadhyate. So it can be here and here. So it connects both here and here in the upameya. Okay, so one thing here is that this Iva has Shuna Shardulayoho. So that we can leave off for time being. We're trying to get our basic sentence. Basic sentence means no shashtis. We don't need any tritya, any lyabantam padam. We just need the tingantam padam if possible, and get the karta and get the karma. So tingantam padam is not there in this sentence. What would you supply, Ravi, in this case? What do you think you can say? If I found it.
Tvaya na Shakyam.
So Shakyam is not a tingantam padam. Shakyam is in fact that gives you a hint. Okay, this is a what's called as a potential participle. Means it's not able, to be able. It's not able by you. You have to supply, Shakyam na vidyate. So it is not possible. So you have to supply some form of, I think, dhatu, bhu, as. Even though it's kind of complete on its own, we really want to supply tingantam padam, because technically speaking, the vakyam cannot be formed without a tingantam padam. So shakyam na bhavati, shakyam na bhavet. No, you can say na bhavet. Okay, how about that? Na bhavet. So Sita is saying that it would not be possible. So that would not be possible for you to stay in the range of sight of Rama and Lakshmana, just like a dog cannot stay within the range of a pair of tigers. I would say bhavet. Tvaya. So now bhavet is supply. So tvaya shakyam na bhavet. It will not be possible. It's not possible by you. It's not possible by you because it's a potential participle. Before we can say for them, so yeah, we can say, right? How will let me see? We can take a similar form, like idam kartavyam bhavet. This should be tvaya kartavyam bhavet. Na kartavyam na bhavet. So it will not be possible to be done by you. So it's to be done. So I think we have no choice but because you need to supply a verb, by the way. Generally, you can always supply a bhu or a synonym of bhu. To be. To supply some other verb form, you have to have some justification. You have to get this from the context. You have to supply my context. But
bhu or us we can supply freely. Bhu, us, or brut, or vidyate. So I think we can supply it. So yes, our fundamental rule of finding a tingantam padam, it doesn't exactly work here because there's no tingantam padam. Then we have to think about probably bhu or us. We think about something which is functioning almost like a tingantam padam. That is the shakyam. The shakyam is almost complete in itself, except that technically speaking, we have to tag on to it some form of bhu or us. Okay, so tvaya na shakyam. It is not possible by you. That is a simple sentence because this is a clause and this is a saptami and this is a shashti. So we can leave those out. We have to be able to get the basic sentence without these because they are only adding on to some elements. For example, Rama Lakshmana Yoho is only connecting with Sandarshani. And then this is of course a clause, it's a separate action. So simple sentence is Tvaya sthatum na shakyam bhavet. I would make a simple sentence because the shakyam connects with sthatum. Sthatum shakyam, to be able to stay. So it would not be able to be stayed by you. This is, and it sounds very in English it does sound a little bit. So it is not possible for you to stay. In English you have to make it active. Now why is it a passive form? Because this shakyam is form of pratyaya which becomes adhika kritya. But potential participle, to be done, to be seen, to be gone to, labhyam, gamyam. So these are all to be done. Kartavyam is that which is to be done. It is not the doer. So sthatum, the shakyam, which is not possible to be stayed by you. It is not possible. It would not be possible to be stayed by you. This is what it means. It means it's not possible for you to stay. Because the sutram here is tayoreva krityakta kalarthaha, is that the kritya pratyaya, what we call potential participles, which come in the section from 3195 to 31132, they can only come in the passive. And in fact the dhatu shak, so from this adhikara of krityaha goes from here, from 3195 to 3132, and in that there is a special sutram for dhatu shak. This has a specific sutram, vishesha vidhanam, to shaki sahoshcha. One more time, if Panini mentions something specifically in a sutram, pay attention please. There's a reason why he's doing that. But there's no other way for him to accommodate that but the samanya vidhanam. He has to make a special exception. So that's a sentence. So let us see now. Okay, let's see. You ready, sir? Balaram, you ready? You try this?
Ready, yes.
Okay. It is not possible. He's making it active.
Na shakyam.
So not is the na. Nahi. Indeed not. Nahi. Indeed no. Indeed no. I think this he might connect with the prior sentence also possibly. See, we're taking this sentence out of context now. I think she may have said something to him previously. He said because it is not possible for you to stay in their sight, therefore what I said earlier. So this he could be connecting to the prior sentence. If not, it is indeed no. But always don't forget that he has a meaning of yataha, yasmat. So don't forget that. Don't just jump to the conclusion that he only means indeed. He is for emphasis also. It also many times stand for the nahi dehavrata shakyam taktum karmanya sheshataha. In fact, very good example, Gita just came to my mind. This is Gita. Nahi dehavrata shakyam taktum karmanya sheshataha. So nahi comes in nahi dehavrata shakyam. Nahi dehavrata shakyam. Let me see. Okay, it comes in chapter 3, I think. So very nice usage in Gita. Okay. Yes, okay, here nahi kashchit khanavapi. So here also we can look at it here. Look at this sentence in Gita. Okay. Na karmana manarambhan naishkarmyam purushoshnute. One cannot go to a state of actionless, of being free. One cannot be free of actions by just not acting. Nachasanyasana siddhim samadhigacchati. One cannot become accomplished, cannot get to the goal just simply by renouncing action. Because nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatutishtatya karmakrita. Because nobody ever can stay even for a second without acting. So that is a justification for the prior shloka. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that this nahi This he is a because. This was said that we cannot become free of action just simply by not acting, and we cannot get accomplished or get to the goal by just renouncing actions, because nobody can stay because no. So there's a connection here for a second, even for a second without acting. So I think same thing here. The prior. In fact, if you then not bring all of this, let me quick look at the Tika. This 521 number 31, right? So here it says that nahi. Okay, let me see what the commentators say. See yasmad. That's why I thought so. The commentators start with yasmad. Rama Lakshmana yoho gandham upagraya shardulayoho sandarshane shunaya samaksham statum tvayana shakyam. He says yasmat. Because prior sentence he said ashramam tat. Okay, in fact, look at the prior sentence. I need to very quickly read that. We won't spend too much time on that. Ashramam tattayoho shunyam pravishya narasimhayoho. Therefore, you entered the ashrama of Rama and Lakshmana, which was empty. Gocharam gatayor bhratroho apanita tvayadama. So you abducted me by entering into the ashram. It was when they were not there. It's empty because you cannot stay in their sight. So there is a because. Okay. Anyway, so the prior shloka connects with the he. I think in the translation they have split the two translations, so we don't get that in the translation. So it is not possible. So that is the near, and the he is yasmat with the prior sentence. Okay, to stand is
Statum.
Statum. Comes in Gita. Shaknom yavasthatum. I'm not able to stand. I'm not able to stay firm. Arjuna complains in the beginning, the first adhyaya. My mind is wandering. I cannot stay stable. Same thing, exactly same here. Shakyam avasthatum. Amisthatum. Okay, within the sight is what?
Sandarshane.
Sandarshane. Saptami ekavachanam. Yeah, the vibhaktis are very important. No? But vibhaktis have to be like second nature at some point, because in English we have these prepositions and we have the vibhakti endings here. So unfortunately, there's no other way but to master these vibhaktis very quickly. Otherwise, we don't know, it's in that, on that, from that, by that, to that. So sandarshane. But that's what gives the power of the language. In English, the flexibility is very limited in English. Here we can jumble up the words to get the meaning thanks to vibhaktis. So, in the beginning it looks like a big headache, doesn't it? To get all these. We can just use the prepositions. But no, because that's what now creates, because look at all these works in Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, how about Mahabharatam first of all? 100,000 verses. You cannot compose this. You cannot compose these works unless you have the suvidha of the vibhaktis. Because, if you have preposition all the time, you cannot do that. It is not possible to fit the meters like that and to mix up the words. Anyway, Sandarshana is Saptami, in that, on that, so within that. So within is the Saptami, sight is Sandarshanam, Dhatu Drish, again, same thing. Of Rama and Shri Rama and Lakshmana is straightforward. Is that?
Rama Lakshmana Yoho.
Lakshmana Yoho.
Rama Lakshmana Yoho.
Shashti Dvivachanam. And very quickly, Sutram is here, Osicha. That you get the Ekara Shabd. Rama Lakshmana become Rama Lakshmane, and Os then Echo Yava Yava Rama Lakshmana Yoho. Sutram is Osicha 73104. Pratyaya is Os. Okay, and now even
is he even now?
Yeah, I think he is even now. I think you're right. He is even now. Okay, I guess he is not made. He made the connection differently. You're right. I mean, he has to be even now. Okay, so all the things I said earlier. So I guess he's taken it differently. Though I still maintain, because even he has a point, because it is coming next to Upadhraya. So it's the top of the sentence, So anyway, I have the commentator behind me. At least I had the commentary behind me. It says yasmat. But it is different things are possible. But the prior sentence is really connecting here. Anyway, okay, doesn't matter. So even has to be he then. On smelling.
Upagraya?
Upagraya, dhatu gra. One more thing you want to do is build this base of dhatus. Remember, the entire language comes from a few hundred verbal roots, which is amazing, isn't it? If you think about English, and there are literally, I don't know, millions of words just floating around. Of course, they have a lot of, connections and roots, but not like this language, because dhatu part only 2,000 roots, out of which, by the way, more than half are never used today. That's another thing about dhatu pata. Not to spend too much time in the class, but of the dhatu pata, literally half or more are not to be seen today anywhere. Not in the Vedas also. So now we cannot just say Panini made this up, because he must. So that just shows you, to lose more than half of the dhatu pata, which means we have lost much more than half of the language mathematically, isn't it? So that's what it would say. Anyway, so out of 2,000 dhatus, at least 1,000 are not used. So that leaves it a few hundred. Not only that, many of those, if you have Indian background, if you speak, Gujarati or Bengali or Malayalam or Hindi, of course, then you have or Telugu, you already have access to many of them. So then it's really pays. It really pays to build this dhatu database in your brain, because you can start making educated guesses now what it could be. So yeah, so gra is going to come down here. Gra is gandhopadani, to take in smell. Basically to take in scent means to smell, basically. It comes in Gita. Jigran, it becomes dha takes a jigra adeshaha shitiparataha. I'm sorry, I just cannot escape the temptation of mentioning the sutram. I know it's not Vyaparanam class, but we have seen the sutram. The gra is mentioned by Panini. It takes a jigra adeshaha. It becomes with shitiparataha. It comes in Gita in chapter 5 in the jigran form. Okay, anyway. Okay, let's go ahead. So, upagraya, having smelled on smelling. Then, like smelling a smell, Yulia, I think upadana is taking in a scent, I think, Yulia. So, it is basically smelling. So, I think gandhopadani, upadana is taking in a scent. So, taking a scent is smelling. I think it's basically means smelling. Yulia is up late at night. I'm impressed. Okay, thank you, Yulia. So I think simply means smelling. Let's look at update. Since Yulia is up late at night making a question, let us justify the question. So gra, I think gra is coming here. Dhatu gra. Okay, gra. Okay, let's see what update says. Gra is to smell at, to perceive by smell. Okay, and then okay, so I think it's just basically meant to smell. So what's the name of gandham? Oh, gandham upagraya. Thank you, Ravi. Yeah, gandham upagraya. So yeah, I guess Yulia has a point. In the shloka itself. Okay, so gandham upagraya. Having, I guess, yes, having got the scent. Correct. The little bit of overlap is happening here. Okay, I think Yulia has a point. Is that we say, so gandham upagraya is a little bit idiomatic here. In English, when you say smell, you just say having smelled the two of them. You would not say having smelled the scent of the two of them. Yes. Okay, that's a good point. And this is a little bit idiomatic in the language, as you can say having smelled this, having smelled the scent. This usage in English sounds strange, but in Sanskritam it means having taken in the scent. So the English smell includes that both together. Okay. Yes, correct. English wise it sounds sense. Having smelled the scent means having scented basically in English. So okay, I think this is what he means on smelling their presence. So that okay, so the presence is now gandham. You can translation and to make it English is put the presence as gandham. Let me see gandham in the I don't think technically gandha is really a scent only. Yeah, so in English you have to translate like that. You have to make it like having smelled their presence, rather than saying having smelled their scent. So smell smell, sulfur, perfume, the mere smell of anything, no relationship. Okay, all right, yes. So in English it should be translated as having smelled their presence, though gandha means scent. Any more than, what do you think, Balaji? What do you put for that? Just as, I think. Just as. What does that be? I think Eva. Eva.
Oh yeah, right. Comparison.
Yeah, it's Eva.
Yes.
Comparison is Eva. Any more than. A dog is
Shuna.
Shuna. That's by the way Shwan, by the way. Shwan. Now this is all in the passive, so we have to now make it active. The Shuna is Tritiya. Oh, one more thing I always mention is that when you have Upama Upameya, always connect the Vibhaktis, please. That's the first thing you want to do, is connect the other. That way you know what is being compared to what. So Shuna is Tritiya Ekvachana Pratipadikam Shwan and Tvaya. So you are being compared to a dog. I mean, it sounds funny, but yes, Shuna and Tvaya. And then Shardulayoho is Rama Lakshmanayoho. I mean, this case is straightforward, but sometimes it can get complicated. So just, it's like mathematics. Always the vibhaktis will match. Now, the lingam and the vachanam may not match on both sides, okay? So you have to be careful of that. Don't expect all the time the lingam and vachanam. Many times it will match also. But the acid test is that vibhakti in the upama upamaya has to match. Don't ever forget that. So Shuna is Tritya Ekavachanam. Doesn't have to be Ekavachanam on both sides. Then Tvaya. Shardulayoho, Rama Lakshmanayoho. Most of the time the lingam vachanam will match, but doesn't have to match. So this is really a passive form. Both are passive because Shakyam requires passive. It is not possible to be stayed. Not possible to be stayed by a dog within the sight of a pair of tigers. Okay, let's finish that one. So any more than is Iva. Dog is really by a dog. Shuna would tarry. See, this is now this is, as I said to you, this Shakyam Sandarshane Sthatum connects on both sides. Now in the shloka itself, they will not repeat that. But in the translation, you may have to repeat that now. So that's what he has done here. It is not possible is Shakyam. So that is not repeated. But then he says to stand within the sight. Now this part is Sandarshane Sthatum, is in the repeat the translation. To tarry, would roam around, would stay around, would hang around, Sthatum. Within the gaze, Sandarshane. So in the shloka itself will not be repeated on both sides. Daily Dipanya, it will connect both sides. But in the translation, to complete the meaning, you have to repeat that sometimes. So would tarry within the gaze. And then of course last word of pair of tigers is
Shardulayoho.
Shardulayoho. Again, Shakti Vivachanam. This straightforward shloka. Only thing complicated here was, of course, the Gandham Upagraya, as Vilya mentioned. And second thing is that it's a passive sentence, which in English is clumsy. You have to be ready for this. Also mentioned many times that in this language, passive is not only accepted, it is also going to be idiomatically stylish and polite also. You say agamyatam. You are saying agacha, agachatu. You say agamyatam, upavishyatam. So these are the usages which are very stylish, idiomatic. In English it's almost wrong. If you go to Microsoft Word and you put this sentence in there, it'll give you underline in red. It says wrong sentence, bad grammar. You cannot say it is not possible to be stayed by you. That English is wrong English. So be ready for this. When you translate this, you expect that in the translation it's going to be active. They will not keep the passive form. So, but you have to remember it's passive in Sanskritam. So it is not possible to be stayed by you within the sight. Okay, now Vyakaranam is nothing much here. So gra, gandhopadane, to take in scent, to smell. And then upagraya, same thing, pratyaktva, samankarta purvakale. Who's samankarta here? Tvam, tvaya. So because it is not possible to be stayed by you within the range of their sight, having got a scent of them. And then of course same thing, the samasa by kugati pradaya and gati samasa, samasanyam purvekto lyap, and then akasve dirghaha. Then shuna tritya ekavachanam padavitikam shwan, samprasaranam sutram shva yuva maghona matadite. This you can check on the website if you want some practice, some Saranam by here. And then Sthatum is Tumun. Oh, let's not forget, this is interesting. Tumun. See, Tumun can be used in three different ways. Okay, in many ways, but three ones. First thing, when you do an action for the sake of another action, like Drashtum Agacchati, he comes to see. Then this was called the Kriyartha Kriya. The action of coming is what's called the Kriyartha Kriya. Is an action whose Artha, Prayojanam, is another Kriya. So what that sutram is 3, which is not what we have here. I'm going to go a little bit fast right now because that will take a lot of time. But 3-3-10 is one way that Tumun can be justified in a Kriyartha Kriya. When you do two actions, one action is the purpose of one action is for the sake of the second action. The second action takes Tumun, like Bhuktum Agacchati. He comes to eat. Action of coming is only for the sake of the second action of eating. The action of eating takes that Tumun. Okay, that's one. Second one is this. This is important because it's hard to find these rules. They are not in the same place in Ashtadhyayi. So 3-3-10 is Kriyayam, Kriyarthayam, Saptami Ekvachanam. That is the Upapadam. And then 3-3-158 is Saman Kritrikesha Tumun. When you have the Ichartha Dhatu, comes in Gita, Drashtum Ichchami Te Rupam. I want to see your form, Arjuna says. I want to see your form. Ichchami. Ichartha Dhatu. Do we have that over here? We don't have that. We don't have Ichartha Dhatu. We don't have Kriyartha Kriya also over here. Then comes the important sutram 3-4-65. So 3-3-10 requires Kriyayam, Kriyarthayam. 3-3-8-8 Samana Kritikeshu, Ichartheshu. We don't have that either. Then comes 3-4-65, which is a set of dhatus, which is Shaka, Drisha, Gnya, Gla, Ghata, Rabha, Labha, Krama, Saha, Arha, and Astyartheshu. Means with these dhatus, Tumun can be used also. When these are there, Upapadam, Tumun can be used. So, Dashtum Shaknoti, Bhuktum Shaknoti, Vaktum Shaknoti, Pratitum Shaknoti, Atva Shaknomi, Atva Shakyam, Atva. So this is a dhatu Shak, which is on the basis of which Tumun has been used over here. Comes in Bhagavad Gita very nicely. In Gita comes very nicely in Gita. In chapter 11, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Aham evam vidho drash. So he says in Gita comes in chapter 5, Shakya evam vidho drashtum. I am able to be seen. In fact, very good in Gita. Almost same which is in Gita. Aham shakya drashtum. I am able to be seen. Then Shakya aham evam vidho Arjuna jnatum drashtum tatvena praveshtum. So all these tumun, they are based on the dhatu shak. So we want to practice 11:51, 11:53, 11:54. Okay, so that's 3-4-65. You should do some homework. Okay, now let's try to do this. Okay, time is running out as usual. Okay, let's try to at least get the gist of this one. Okay, Sita krita garhanena kruddho ravano masadvayam pratiksha tvam marayami iti Janakim Bhishayate. Tato Ravana Stribhir Netra Sanketadibhi Kritashvasa Puna Ravanam Garhati. Ghora Vikrita Nana Kriti Rakshasi Starjana Santvanadina Janakya Avarjane Viniyujya Tarjanodyatam Ravanam Dhanyamalini Nama Tatpatni Tato Nivartayati Sacha Vimohitaha Sannanta Purika Bhirantar Graham Pravishati. We have separate sentences here. We have one sentence, two sentence, three, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Chatvari Vakyani Vartante. Patyekam. So Pratame Vakye Tingantam Padam Bhishayate. Ditye Vakye Garhati. Titye Vakye Nivartayati. And then Chaturthe Vakye Pravishati. So Bhishayate means somebody is scaring somebody. Garhati means somebody is criticizing, condemning somebody. Then Nivartayati means somebody is warding off somebody. Same which we had here. So we had no, I'm sorry, slightly different. That Nivruddhatu, Nivruttya. So nivartayati means to make somebody turn back, turning somebody away, making somebody turn away or return. Then pravishati is enter. So we have 4 sentences here. Let's start one more time. Sita krita garhanena kruddho ravano masadvayam pratikshatvam marayami iti Janakim bhishayate tato ravana stribhir netra sanketadibhi kritashvasa punaravanam garhati ghora vikrita nana kriti rakshasi stajana santvanadina janakya avarjane viniyujya tajanodyatam ravanam dhanyamalini nama tatpatni tato nivartayati sacha vimohita sannantah purika virantargraham pravishati. Okay, don't try with this for us, Ravi. I know time is kind of out, but so we have
Sita Krita Garhanena.
Sita Krita Garhanena is samastam padam. Okay.
Kruddhaha.
Kruddhaha.
Ravanaha.
Ravanaha.
Masadvayam.
Masadvayam also is a samastam padam, pair of couple of months. Okay, go ahead.
Pratiksha.
Pratiksha, Lebbantam, same thing now, because this is a summary. So having done. Okay, so having waited. Pratiksha. Pratiksha is to wait upon, to wait. Okay.
Tvam. Marayami. Iti.
Okay. Now what's inside? You want to try? What's inside the iti?
Tvam marayami.
One more also. Masadvyam pratiksha tvam marayami. Inside. Because one hint for Ravi is that, see, marayami is a uttam purusha ekvachanam, right? Now Ravana could not go in there because he is pratham purusha ekvachanam. So clearly he cannot be in there. He is not in there. So this is all out. And otherwise, if you take this one out of the quotation, how will you connect that to what then? Because masadvam pratiksha, then it's outside the quotation, then bhishayate. No, that will not make any sense. It will mean that he scares her after waiting for 2 months. That's not the meaning, of course. The meaning is that after waiting for 2 months, I'm going to kill you. So I will kill you after 2 months, after giving you 2 months. So that is so here. So that's you to try one word and see when it connects better inside the quote or outside the quote. And inside the quote, Marayami is the Tingantam Padam. So clearly Ravanam will not be in there because he is a Pratham Purusha. He is a Pratham Purusha. This is Uttam Purusha. And then Pratiksha is having waited for 2 months. It goes with Marayami, doesn't it? I will kill you having waited for 2 months. So that has to go inside the quotation. So Masadvayam Pratiksha Tvam Marayami Iti. So it's a good habit when you see an iti, try to get the quotation and try to keep it separate sentence, okay, outside. Okay, now okay, go ahead.
Janakim.
Ditya
Bhishayate.
Bhishayate. So Janakim is the karma object of the scaring, Bhishayate. Because Bhishayate we have seen in the Ramayanam class. We'll not do in detail in this class again. So anyway, Ravi has put the notes, we'll get to them. But Bhishayate means he scares. Okay. And
Tataha
Avyam Padam. Avyam means Tadanantram. Tadanantram means then. English Tata means then in English. Then after that. Okay.
Ravanastribhihi. Netra sanketadibhihi. Krutashvasa. Punaha.
Look at the Sandhikari mein, please. Punar Ravanam becomes Punar Ravanam. Okay, this we will not do details in a class. If you want to practice for homework, Sutram is Rori, Refascha Lopo, Repe, and then Dhalope Purush Dirghonaha. So 8 if you want to take for homework, 8-3-14 along with 6-3-1-1-1. If you want to practice on the website, you can also do that. So Punar plus Ravanam becomes Punar Ravanam. Okay, then Ravanam, Ditya
Garhati.
Garhati. You see, this is the back and between Sita and Ravana. This is the back and forth going on between these two now. So he's threatening her, and she is scolding him. So this is one sentence is for him, for Ravana. That he threatened her, saying, in 2 weeks, in 2 months, I'm going to kill you. She's scared. So then she gets confidence from the Rakshasis, and then she scolds him. Okay, then the third will be Ravana coming back again. Okay, go ahead.
Ghora Vikruta Nana Krutihi.
Nana Kritihi. Interesting sandhi here now, Ravi, because this could have been Kriti also, right? Could it have been?
Yes.
There are a lot of possibilities here. Could have been Kriti, just Padacheda wise, sandhi wise, could have been Kriti. Could have been Kriti, could also be Kritihi. Right now, Kritihi is what we have. So here also we have 8314 Rori, Repasalopo, Repe. But here, of course, the prior is already Dirgha. So 63111, you can apply Parjanyavat, doesn't need to apply. So here, Padacheda, pay attention please, could have been Kritihi. It will not make any sense, because look at the next one. As I always say to you, if you need help with a vibhakti of a padam, look around in the sentence. Look around. You chances are quite high you'll find a padam in samadhikaranam with that. Then your job is done, because now you found something else which has the same bhakti as this one. So always look around for help. If you're getting stuck with a vibhakti question, like right now we're kind of stuck here, because there are vividha paryayaha vartante. There are many possibilities are here. Because it could have been kriti, could have been kritihi, could have been, because how can you get a word kriti, Ravi? What do you think? How will I get a prajapati like kriti? Sorry, not prajapatikam. Padam, I'm sorry. Kriti.
Like Nadi.
A little bit difficult, because kriti, nati will be a little bit difficult. You take another chance, what could it be? Yes, Yulia, are you there? You can try. How can I get a padam kriti, Yulia? If you're awake still at midnight, what do you think? I want to try to get the. How can I get a padam kriti?
So is it in Napumsakalinge?
No, Napumsakalinge, Ravi, you will never ever have dirghantam prajapadikam in Napumsakalinge.
Okay, but you can get the subanta as kruti, like dadat, dadati, dadanti.
Oh, Dvivachanam, I'm sorry, yeah. Dvivachanam, okay. Dvivachanam. It'll be difficult. That'll be like, because Krit will be Kurvati then, right? Kriti, how will you get? Okay. Kritin, padam Kritin. Like Yogin. So Kritin is one who has done something. Means somebody is fulfilled. Kritin. So Kritin, liquid apte for Kritin. So Kriti could have been, of course it's completely out of context. It could have been a Pullinge Prathama Ekvachanam of Kritin Pradipadikam. Kritin means one who has, Kritam, one who has done the job. So one who is kind of smart, one who's accomplished, one who's done, basically, one who's kind of done. So Kritin Pradipadikam, if you see, I think we'll see that. So Kritin, let's try that. Kritin is one who has done his work, or again, who's satisfied, contented, successful. And this form is used, by the way. Even in Mahabhashyam, Kritin is used. So this could have been, I won't fit the context at all. But Kriti will most likely be a Prathama Ekvachanam Padam, Kritin like Yogin or Tapasvin. But anyway, right now it is not that. It is Ghora Vikrita Nana Kritihi. So this is we're going to say it's a Bahuvri Samasaha. It's actually a Ditya Dvivachanam. Declined like Mati Shabdaha. It's like Matihi. Dvitiya Dvivachanam. Like Mati Shabdaha. We have of course got the Pratama Pura Savaranaha going over there. Okay, so this is Ghora Vikrita Nana Kritihi Samadhikaranam with Rakshasihi. That's the key over here. If you see Rakshasihi, straightforward. Rakshasi has no other choice. Because Pratama Bhavachanam is Rakshasya. So Rakshasi has to be Dvitiya Bhavachanam. This is also Dvitiya. So if you take the clue from the next one, this one is a fixed piece in the puzzle. Rakshasi is this is like a puzzle, every sentence, right? So Rakshasi has only one choice. It has to be Dvitiya Bhavachanam of Rakshasi Pradipadikam, like Nadihi. So this, if you fix that one, then this piece most likely gets fixed. It's most likely an adjective qualifying Rakshasi, isn't it? So that's how I tell you. If you always look around for help, many times you will find a Anyat Padam, different Padam, which is Samadhikaranam with the one which you have a question about. Okay, so the Ghora Vikrita Nana Kritihi, and you're also Rori. Rakshasihi, both are Dvitiya Bahuvachanam. Okay, go ahead, Ravi.
Tarjana Santva
Santvanadina.
Santvanadina.
Santvanam. Santva dhatu. Santva is to console. So Tarjana, of course, this is also Nij is in there, by the way. Tarja is in the Churadi dhatu. So by threatening and consoling, etc. So by means of threatening, consoling, etc. Tarjana Santvanadina. As I told you in the class, try to build your base of dhatus, please. It's very well worth it. So Tarja dhatu is in Churadigana, and Santva is there also. Santva means to console. So Tarja Santvana. In fact, Santva. Time is out, guys. I'm sorry, but time is out. But so today we have good class participation, but unfortunately time is out. So I'll try to wind up in the next 5-10 minutes. Okay, give me 5. So Santva. Santva is a dhatu. Santva. So it's a strange dhatu ending in nakara, takara, vakar, sanyoga. Yeah, this is also in the online update, by the way. In the online update, all the 10s are coming as 1s. The zeros are being lost in the online update. In the online update, zeros are being lost. So this is 10u. Santvayati, to appease. Okay, so this is also Churadika. So both Tarja and Santva are both in the, and in both of these here the Nich Pratyaya coming. Nich Pratyaya has to come in Churadi. And Niraniti. When the Pratyaya Lut is coming, Niraniti is coming. So 6, if you want to do some homework, 6451 applied here. So Tarjana Santvanadina. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Janakyaha.
Janakyaha. Here is Lopashakalyasya. Janakyaha. So Shashti Ekavachanam, like Nadyaha. Okay.
Avarjane.
Here also you have a Nich Pratyaya. Avrajya. Avarjayati. So this is Varji. So this is Dhatu Vrajya. Avarjane. So Avarjane means to Avarjanam means to bring under control, to tame, to let's see, Avrajya. Dhatu Avrajya. Avarjanam means to this case it means to tame. Avrajya. 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 And in the causative form, causative, to bend down, to incline. So it means that to subdue, to win over. It's also, so you see how many times the niche comes in here? So we have it in Tarjanam, we have in Santanam, we have in Avarjane. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Vinayujya.
This is Vishaya Saptami. Having appointed these Rakshasis in the subject matter of, in the context of, means in the job of subduing Sita. So Janakya Avarjane, Vishaye. Viniyujya, of course, is the Lyabbantam, which you see many times already. Viniyogaha means to engaged, having engaged. So now Viniyoga engagement. Viniyogaha, so when you do, any puja, I say Viniyoga, engagement. Means now it started. This is so Viniyogaha. Viniyoga kriyate, you can say in puja. So Viniyujya, okay.
Tarjanodyatam.
Tarjanodyatam, again same thing. So who was bent on scolding her more. So Ravana was mad, so he was Atikruddha, so he wanted to threaten even more. Okay.
Ravanam.
So he's qualifying Ravanam, Ditya Ekvachanam. Okay.
Dhanyamalini.
Dhanyamalini is Ravana Stri Vishesha. So this is one Bharya, Ravanasya. So Kachit Bharya, one of Ravana's wives, Dhanyamalini by name. Okay. Nama is an Avyam, by the way. Nama is by name. Nama is an Avyam. Okay.
Tatpatni.
Ravanasya Patni. Okay. Tataha is how would you say Tataha? What would you represent into Tataha? What would you replace? Yeah, but what would you put? Yeah, Tataha is a pronoun here. You know, Tat always stands for any pronoun always replaced with a noun. So if you want to do, if you're doing a Vyakhyan, if you're Tikakaraha, what would you say? Tataha means what would you do? Tasmat Tarjanat. Tasmat Tarjanat. Because he said, because Tarjanodyatam Ravanam. Right? Tasmat Tarjanat Nivartayati. So she wards him off, she turns him back, she makes him turn back from that. What is that? because he was hell-bent on threatening her even further. So he was Tajanodhyataha Ravanaha. So Udyataha means Udyama is to exert or to set out to do something. So Tajane Udyataha. So he was going to scold her more. But she made him turn back from that. Means Tajanat. So they have to be little in this language and put in commentaries. When you see Tatpadam, look around. The basic idea is don't leave any pronoun unless you know which noun is behind it. And if you see from the context, you try to see which fits best. Okay. This Tataha is different from this Tataha, by the way. Means Tataha means Tasmat Kala Anantaram. This Tataha is like Tasmat Kala Anantaram. After that time, if you really want to make it explicit, Tataha means after that time is then. This is not like that. This is not then. This means from that scolding, she made him turn back. Okay, last sentence. Go ahead. Saha. Cha.
Vimohitaha. San. Antahpurikabhihi. Antargruham. Pravishati.
But this is Sandhi here going on by the 8-3-32. Nyamo Rasmadachi Nyamo Nityam. And we are completely out of time right now. So what you do right now is that, and by the way, the Saha is by the Sandhi by 61132. That's 61132. Etattadoho. Sulopaha. Akuranyang samasi hali. So that's 61132. Okay, what we'll do now is that we have only 5 minutes. So let me try to, 61132, okay? 61132. If you practice that, you can look at the website. Let's try to get some handle on this, and we'll continue next time. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it as short as we can, but still time is up. Okay, Balaram, you ready, sir? We give it a shot. We try to give it a shot. We have only 5 minutes, okay? So, Sita Krita Garhanena. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's start down here. Nettled, angered.
Kruddha.
Kruddha, correct. By the censure. This?
Krita Garhanena.
I think just Garhanena.
Okay.
Nindaya, Garhanena, Tiraskarena, whatever, Garhana. Garha is to censure, to make it like this is disgusting. So Garhanam. So to make so by the censure. Uttered is
Krita.
Ukta, you can say. By Sita is Sita. So the Vigravakyam is Sitaya Kritena Garhanena. Iti Vigravakyam. Sitaya Kritena Garhanena. That's what samas. We'll do it next time. Ravana is Ravana. Okay, now this they have paraphrased the whole thing over here. Allows her. I'm sorry?
Allows her is maybe understood?
Allows her, I think. That thing inside the quotation says that. Okay, let's do it our way. So that's the iti. So let's take something from here. Is that allowing her a time limit means waiting is what? Having waited, pratiksha. So having allowed, having given time, so having waited. So allowing her a time limit of 2 months is
Masadvayam.
This is understood. To revise the decision is understood. To revise the decision and threatens her with death. What will that be? What is her? Yeah, threatens. Yes, correct. Bhishayate is threatened. Correct.
Marayam is threatened with death.
With death. Marayami iti. And then her is Tvam.
Yeah.
Tvam inside the quotation means Sita. So Tvam Marayami is I shall kill you. That's threatened. That is with death. And threatened is Bhishayate. I think this is understood. If she does not listen to reason, is understood. Then restored to confidence. Try to guess that one. What's confidence? It's Krita Ashvasa. Ashvasa. Shvas is to Ashvasayamasa comes in Gita chapter 11, right? Ashvasanam is to make somebody breathe. Means to give somebody confidence, to make him breathe in and out. So we'll do it next time. Ashvasanam. Krita Ashvasa. So Kritam. So Kritaha Ashvasaha yasyaha sa. So restored to confidence. Now by the glances, etc.
Netra Sanketa.
Nitra Sanketa adibhi. By the glances, etc. Nitra Sanketa is signaling with the eyes. That's the glances. Nitranam Sanketaihi and adibhi, etc. Of Ravana's consorts,
Ravanastri.
Ravana's Stribhi. If he's married to Ravana's Strinam, he has married. Really, it should be who was restored to confidence by Ravana's consorts, by the signals of the eye. But he has taken off. So if Ravana's Strinam, it should be like that, literally speaking. But this is both are Tritya over here. However, I think that is
Tataha.
probably Tataha then. Tataha probably. Yes, Tataha is however correct. Sita is understood as a subject of Garhati. Then condemns him.
Garhati.
Garhati and then Ravanam is him.
Ravanam is him.
Once more is
Punaha.
Punaha. Leaving instructions is having appointed this one. Viniyuja is to engage somebody, appoint some. Viniyuja, having engaged, having appointed. With the Rakshasis is
Rakshasi.
Rakshasihi Titya Bhoshanam, of terrible and ugly aspect.
Gora is terrible.
Gora, Vikrita is like
Vikrita is
deformed,
ugly.
ugly, and Nana is with various, really, and Akriti is form. So we had various forms, which is ugly and deformed, terrible and deformed form. So this is a whole Bahuri qualifying Rakshasi. So those who had variety of forms, terrible and ugly, to bring her to reason,
Avarjane.
in that matter of subduing her, by recourse to intimidation and persuasion.
Tarjana Santvanadina.
Santvanadina. Tajana Santvanadina. Tajanam is threatening, intimidation, Santvanam is consoling or persuasion. Ravanaha is, this is not translated. Okay? So this one is not translated. Okay. Tajanodyatam Ravanam Dhanyamalini Nama Tatpatni Tato Nivartayati is not translated. Is that his wife by name Dhanyamalini, she wards him back, she makes him, turns away from that idea of threatening. Okay. So this is not translated. So Ravanaha is, I think, understood from the subject of Pravishati, of Saha.
Ravana is Sa.
Saha, you're correct. Saha, correct. Saha is correct. Thereupon, I think probably.
Maybe Tataha.
There's no Tataha there.
And the previous sentence there is a Tataha.
Yeah, but that is, we already made Tarjanat, right? So it'll be difficult. But anyway, Cha, you supply Tataha somewhere. Leaves the presence. This is really not a good translation. This is not according to this assignment. Okay, let's make our own translation. So being is what? Sun, present participle. So being completely very mad is what? Being vimohitaha, being completely crazy, going crazy. Vimohitaha sun. Antafpurikabhi, that's the translation. This is with his women folk. Antafpuram is the harem, the inside chambers. Antafpurika, we'll do it next time, is somebody who's appointed to guard or in charge of the harem. Antafpurikabhi, woman who in charge of the women's quarters. So, with his women folk, Antafpurikabhi, Antafpuram Pravishati, he enters the inside his palace. Okay, sorry, a lot of time is up. We have 3-week break now, and do some homework and follow the examples. Again, Nutana system with Shubhakankshaha. Happy New Year. Next class will only be on Jan 14th. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachar Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhutame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rame Manorame Sasanama Tattryam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Nameti. So December 24th. Thank you Balramji, thank you Yulia for staying up so late. Thank you Anuji, and of course thank you Ravi for all the notes and recording. You okay Ravi?
Yes, Satish.
Okay, Shubharatri. And again, Happy New Year. Hari Om.